Hi, I'm Cheryl. I'm using the Garden and Bloom stamp set again. I'm just in love with this stamp set, and this is the next card I created, and let's get started making it. We need a piece of Marina Mist. It's 5.5 by 8.5, scored and folded 4 1/4. That'll be our base. Then I have a piece of Whisper White. That's 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. I'm going to keep that handy because we're going to start with that. And a piece of Night of Navy. That's 3 by 4 1/2. This is all going to be listed below, so don't make yourself too crazy over writing any of this stuff down. And then another piece of Whisper White. That's 4 1/2 by 3 1/4. That will be for the inside of our card. And this is the stamp set, Garden and Bloom. It's got a lot of pretty elements, watercolory and sketchy. It's just my kind of thing. And I've also used from, let me tell you what we're using. We're using the sketchy flower, big flower. This fill-in flower, not the detail elements. This big flower here. And the sketchy leaves, the stem, okay, the sketchy butterfly, and the sketchy rosette. We'll be using those. So I think that's everything. See, butterfly, rosette, flower, leaves, and stem. Okay, that's it. That's what we're using. And then from the Feather Together stamp set, which is another pretty stamp set with some really nice sentiments on it. I'm using the Thinking of You stamp from that one. And oh yes, that's right. I had it on my Misty Mate, or my Mini Misty. So I have it already here on my Mini Misty. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to be using this. You can use just a Stampin' block if you like. Then here, this little blue thing here, that's not just some trash on my crafting mat here. That we're going to be using that as a little bitty piece of the painter's tape for delicate surfaces. And we're using Night of Navy, Marina Mist, and Tranquil Tide stamps. So let's get going on our card. We'll start out with stamping the Thinking of You stamp. Now I'll put my piece of paper in here in the corner and hold that in place with my magnets. And I'm going to reposition this because when I did it originally, I already had my piece of Whisper White attached to my Night of Navy, so this wouldn't be the same. So let me line it up. I think looks good. I'll pick it up with my Mini Misty, and then I'll check it because there's a grid etched pattern in the lid of the Misty, and it looks just a little crooked. Okay, I can line that up a little better, I think. That's one of the wonderful things about the Mini Misty. I'm going to stamp this then in Night of Navy. So let me ink that up. The other thing that's nice about using one of these stamp positioner things is if you don't get a good impression the first time, you can just go back and redo it. Well, that looks good though. I don't need to do that again. So I put that stamp aside. Somewhere I have a diaper wipe there. I need to wipe my fingers. I'll wipe this too. Well, I'm being neat, I might as well be really neat, right? Okay, and I'm going to use, you know what, I had these on blocks, but since I have my Misty out, I might as well I might as well use it. And make sure when you put your stamps on here, you're putting them stamping side down. So, let's see, that's about where I want my flower to be. I'll just pick that up. And with my Night of Navy again, I'll ink that up. And 1, 2, 3. And there we go. Beautiful impression. Wipe that off a little bit so I don't get that on my fingers. Now I can take my fill-in stamp, and this is my little trick. I put these they have a little, let me see, I have to get this in the camera, there we go. It's got this little pokey thing here. Okay, that wasn't a mistake. That's to help you line these up. You see on this one, it's also got the little pokey thing. So this is my trick. I keep this out and I set it down on my table in the manner that I stamped it, which is be like this. I'll set that on my table like that, and now I know, I'll look and I can see where my pokey thing is. So I got my pokey thing pointing that way, and so I can just sit this right down here on my flower, get that lined up, and I've got it the right petals on the right petals. Alright, so we'll pick that up. And I need to get rid of this Night of Navy before I end up with my elbow in it. And I'll get my Marina Mist. Ink that up. And it's going to look funny. It's not going to look like a normal inking, because it's got just little things all over it, so that it's kind of watercolory looking. And it's supposed to be like that. That also is not a mistake. Okay, so there's my flower. And the next thing I'll do is the stem. And for the stem, I'm going to use Tranquil Tide. And this is a little trick. Let me take this all out of here, because I don't really need this in here. Oops, my magnet's stuck together. If you have a MISTI and you get these magnets stuck together, don't try to pry them apart. Slide them, and they come apart. Of course, the best thing would be to not get them stuck together in the first place, but I always seem to have them snapping together on me. So I'm going to take my little piece of tape here. I'm going to just put that over just this little section of my sentiment. But here's this trick with this stem. Now, when it comes in the set, it's nice and straight like this. But it doesn't have to stay straight. Just put it on your stamp block, and you can curve it. You can get quite a curve on this, actually. I just want a little gentle curve on it, but you see now on my stamp block, it's now a curved stem. And you can also do this if you have a very small sentiment that's long. You can curve your sentiment also. Okay, so now I'll ink this up. I'm using the Tranquil Tide, by the way. And right there looks good to me. And let me wipe that up. can do my, oh, I didn't get my leaves out. Oh dear. Let me quick get those out. Maybe. Now where are my leaves? Oh, there they are. And grab a stamp block. Let's see, I think it'll fit on this one. Yes. Do you ever put your stamp down upside down? And then you go to ink it and it just looks really funny? I've done that. I've done a lot of crazy little oddball things that I can tell you how not to do. Okay, so let me stamp my leaves. That's good. I can pull my little piece of tape off here. Then it doesn't cover the writing on the sentiment so much. See, I didn't do that on my original, and I wish I had, so live and learn, right? Alright, so now we can attach that to our piece of Night of Navy. So we'll bring that out, put some Tombow on the back, and you know, anywhere along the line here, if you feel like popping them up a little bit on dimensionals, then that's fine to do and would look lovely. But I'm not doing it. I'm just doing everything just flat on this card. And now we'll bring our card base in, and right across here I'm going to do a little background detail. You see here I used the butterfly and those rosette, the sketchy rosette flowers, and I stamped those in Marina Mist. So to remind myself where I'm stamping, I'm just going to lay 2 pieces of paper down here, and I want them pretty much in the middle. So there we go. That's good. That's just to remind me not to get crazy and go stamping all over the paper. So I've got my Marina Mist, and oh, let's start out with a butterfly. I'll put a butterfly over here. Let's put one over this way, over here. And we don't have to fill in the center section because our little flower panel will be covering that. And just stamp in some flowers here and over here. And that should be plenty. Let's see how that looks. Oh yeah, that's just fine. Just fine. So I can now put this down. I'll put that down with Tombow. Again, you can pop it up with dimensionals if you like. Of course, you can always add some bling to it too. I didn't put any bling on here. No rhinestones, no dots, no ribbons, nothing. If you want to add some little shiny things, that would be lovely. But okay, so now I'm going to have this on the inside, but I'm going to take that little butterfly and that little rosette, and I'm going to stamp around the edges here. And this time I am going to, let's see, that goes, oh, perfect. It goes, my scrap paper is exactly 5.5 inches. So I'm going to use some of my repositionable tape. If you don't have repositionable tape, you could put a piece of this, the delicate painter's tape or masking tape. I use masking tape a lot, and I just touch it off. I touch it on my clothes a half a dozen times or so, and then it's not as sticky. Okay, so all around the edge here I'm going to do butterflies and rosettes. So butterfly, 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 and I'm not going to keep saying it. I'm done now. You thought I was going to keep going with that, didn't you? I might have. And stamp some of these little rosettes in here. That one didn't stamp real well. Let's see if I can. There. And just a couple more. Okay. Wipe that up so we don't smudge it all over the place. Peel this off, and we can put our little center thing here. And anything you'd like to stamp on the inside, I mean, thinking of you, it could be thinking of you on your birthday, or thinking of you on your anniversary. So it could be any of those. You know, I was going to glue it down, but I'm not going to do that, because you know what? I'm going to put this down with my repositionable tape just to keep it with my card. I'm going to put that down on here, and then when the time comes, if I make a mistake stamping on here, should line it up a little. Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because it's repositionable. But if I make a mistake stamping my whatever I'm going to put on the inside here, then I can just take this paper, throw it away, and I can replace it with another one. But I would like to have the paper here for when so that it's all ready for when I want to use the card. Well, that's our card for today. I hope you've liked it. If you have, then be sure to hit the like button down below. If you'd like to subscribe, you can hit that subscribe button. That will let you know when I put up new cards. If you'd like to purchase any of the Stampin' Up materials I've used today, you can do that either through my Facebook page or my website. And on my Facebook page, I put things on there that are fun. I recently brought in 2 kittens that are strays. Well, Mama Cat was the stray, and she had a litter of 4 kittens. So I brought in the 2 little female ones. So, because I'm crazy like that, and I don't have enough to do between doing videos and taking care of my 7-month-old grandson. But I posted pictures of them on my Facebook page, and anything of importance that I feel like I should tell you guys, that's also on my Facebook page, so you might want to check it out. But anyway, anything that I've used today, I'll have listed down below. And y'all take care, stay safe, and happy stamping.